Hello, everyone, and welcome to our look at Mid-South Wrestling. It's episode 274, and it was in December of 1984, Mid-South Wrestling. Rodney, take us through Mid-South Wrestling.
Well, it's actually December 6th, 1984. And, of course, it's Boyd Pierce and Bill Watts opening the program. They, once again, review the Dream Match. We'll have our first Dream Match on this series coming up later in the program. We had, first of all, as they talk about, we have new Mid-South Tag Team Champions and Ted DiBiase and the Sheik Hercules Hernandez that defeated the Rock and Roll Express at Municipal Auditorium in New Orleans. And they go to the footage of exactly how that would happen. DiBiase was found to have a foreign object. I wonder where they got that from. Found a foreign object at the beginning of the match. Later in the match, it's Buddy Landell coming out there and handing something to Ted DiBiase, loading the glove up. And it is Ted DiBiase and Sheik Hercules Hernandez winning the Mid-South Tag Team Championship. Later, we went and saw an interview with DiBiase, Hercules, and Skandor Akbar. And, of course, they have now the beginning of taking over, just like they did in 1982. Anyway, it was beginning again as we repeat 1982. Match number one is Terry Ellis and Randy Barber versus the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson. Jack, what did you think about this one?
I was glad when it was over. No, I'm kidding. It was a pretty good match.
Brent?
Yeah, it was what it was. It was to get the Rock and Roll. They had just lost. We just seen them lose the Mid-South Tag Team titles, so they wanted to get them a win on television against Randy Barber and whatever the other guy's name was. But
Terry Ellis. It was Terry Ellis.
Terry Ellis. But it was good for what it was.
Double drop kick on Terry Ellis. Robert Gibson gets the win in that one. The thing that got me in this, Bill Watts built heat with me all through this show. I'm just wondering if he could fire himself. Because during this match, instead of concentrating on what just happened and what's going to be happening in the future, he was focusing most of his commentary against Jim Cornette and Midnight Express. They're gone. It's like the junkyard dog. They're gone. They're not coming. Of course, Midnight's coming back eventually. Would just make his spots, but junkyard dog's gone. But this is the same routine he does over and over again, talking about people that's not even in the crew anymore. They're working now for world class. It makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense whatsoever. But he owns it. He pays the bills. Why not? Next match is for the Mid-South Television Championship. This was supposed to be Adrian Street against Bill Dundee, but they changed the match. In this match, it's Bill Dundee defending the Mid-South Television Championship against Buddy Landell. And Britt, what did you think about this one?
To me, Bill Dundee shows what a great professional wrestler he is. He can tell a story. He told such a great story where he goes outside, he gets his head smashed into the railing, he starts bleeding, and he shows he couldn't come back out of that, which tells a great story for the arenas. When the guy gets that, then the fans start getting behind him because they just seen somebody get beat on television because he played such great storytelling, and I think he knew exactly what he was trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I'll second that 100%. I thought they were both on their game. The storytelling was great. I don't know that you could ask for any more than what they presented in that match.
Exactly right. In the end, it's Bill Dundee being knocked out onto the floor. Landell comes out of the ring. He runs Dundee's head into the barricades, and of course, it caused him to have a cut in the ring. And then he shoots him back up in the ring, catches him with the elbow, and then the spinning elbow, and that's the end. Buddy Landell becomes the new Mid-South Television Champion. However, yet again, Bill Watts takes the opportunity of a Mid-South Championship match on television to talk about fan appreciation night that they had. I believe it was in Tulsa, in which they had 12,000 people, and they only set up for 2,500. This is a good opportunity when you're highlighting your big stars to focus on everything other than what's in the ring. It's unbelievable. And he continues to do the exact same thing during the North American Heavyweight Championship match that's coming up in the first of the Dream Match series, as it's going to be Ernie Ladd against Butch Reed. a main event. Would you not say, Brent? A main event?
Oh, yeah.
A main event should have been, I mean, this would be a Superdome main event. This would be a Sam Houston Coliseum Houston main event. Would you not agree with that, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
And, and of course, and in that one, he's there talking about, in the beginning, about how we watched WWF wrestling and how boring it really was. In fact, the fans were hollering, boring, boring, while he was mentioning that while his version of the world title was on the line with his two big stars, Butch Reed and Ernie Ladd.
Well, not only did he say that those matches was boring, that he flew all the way to New York and Madison Square Garden to watch these matches. So I'm thinking, you liked it so well, evidently you flew all the way there to watch it. So what in the world are you doing during this?
He didn't mind taking the checks when he was wrestling.
Yeah, that's certainly not right. I mean, you're right about that. Well, right at the beginning of the match is Ernie Ladd and Butch Reed. Buddy Landell comes out, and it's Landell. Ladd throws Reed into the referee. Then it's Landell coming in the ring, and they've doubled up, of course, at the beginning. Reed has everybody going, and then you could hear the fans starting to yell in the back. I mean, from the stands. Watch out, watch out. And then here comes the Ugandan, as they call him, warrior, Kamala, as he returns to Mid-South, and he splashed repeatedly. Butch Reed is Ladd, and Buddy Landell spread him out. In the end, it's Terry Taylor, Rock and Roll Express, making the save on that one. What did you think about the match, other than the fantastic, brilliant commentary of Bill Watts?
I thought the match was good. I thought it was too short. I would like to see more of it. But,
sure.
It was storytelling. So,
right.
They got the point across.
And just to get Kamala back in the situation as well.
Because he didn't sell anything. He didn't sell nothing.
I loved it when Kamala came out. It was bad there. Anybody that ever was at the Shreveport Boys Club, it took forever because you had to watch yourself coming into the steps. I'm telling you, there was 100 steps to come down from the top of that building to that thing. So, man, you could see it coming a mile away, somebody coming out there. You had to be careful. You'd flop down them steps, you'd hurt yourself. Kamala could probably have took them steps down. So,
sure. We always said they need to cover that up where people can't see them coming down those steps. But, yeah, you can see them coming. It takes about a minute to get down the steps because you have to come out of the dressing room onto this walkway. You have to go down the walkway, then you come down the steps, and then you run. It's a long ways to get there.
But I'm going to tell you, Shawn Michaels comes in, and that Kamala gives him that chop, and boy, he sells that so good. Yeah, I'm telling you. And then here comes some other, as Bobby Heenan said, some other ham and egger, and he gives him the big chop. And then who comes in the ring? Jimmy Powell, and he gets the big old chop. He don't even make it in the ring, but Jimmy Powell gets our good friend Jimmy Powell from years past. Okay, I've read.
It is match number 4: Chavo and Hector Guerrero against Jimmy Powell and Mike Jackson. Jack, what did you think about this one?
Hey man, I thought this match was great. I'd really forgotten how good Jimmy was. I mean, Jimmy made everybody look great and look great in the process. And of course, Mike goes without. Mike's always had great matches.
Sure.
But Jimmy was really good in this.
Brent?
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing Jimmy in it. I had really, honestly, I didn't remember Jimmy Powell. Now, did he come with Mike Jackson as part of his crew, or was Jimmy Powell just to add on from Dad, since Dad was there at the time?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't either. So,
in the end,
I will. Yeah, I was going to say I thought this was the first match since we've seen the Guerreros on there that they actually gelled well together. I thought it was a really good match overall for everybody.
Yeah. Well, in the end, it's Hector Guerrero giving the big full Nelson back, and then Chavo Guerrero going to the second rope with that That forward somersault looks awesome. You have to have coordination to do that. The girls over in that one. Chavo and Hector wins. Then match number 5 is Steve Williams versus Magnum TA. Brent, what do you think about that?
Oh, I love this match. I thought this match was tremendous. When Magnum TA gives Steve Williams that drop kick, I believe it's a drop kick, and he does that flip and kind of lands into the corner of the corner. I'm thinking, oh man, what a bump he took on that. Maybe he didn't have no other choice. Maybe there was just that, but it was so good, and the way that he threw. The referee of this match is Rodney West, which is our father, and so he throws him away. Bam! He throws him away again, and when
Magnum TA does.
Yeah, when he picks it, he hits him with that thing. It looks so good. The match was just, I say bad stuff sometimes about Steve Williams, sometimes back then, but man, he was, and when he was on, and he was on this night.
Yeah, I thought it was great too.
I thought it was all right, except for the commentary again. Bill Watts decided that this is an opportunity while his stars were in the ring to talk about football. Again, I don't get it. It was like, are you trying to purposely throw a monkey wrench in your entire establishment? I'm not sure. But anyway, talk football on that. Match number 6 is Jack Victory and the return or first appearance of Brad Armstrong. And I believe Brad got a pretty good response for his first time out. He looked in tremendous condition. You have to admit that. Brad, what did you think about this?
Oh, yeah, the match was great. Everything that he did was good. In the finish, he does almost clothesline Jack Victory before he puts the thing on, and Jack goes down. But boy, Brad's good because he just goes down there and he hits it just like he meant to, everything when he was meaning to do all that stuff, and it came over good. And Brad was good. Again, we're going to see something in the next episode. We're going to see him win the North American Heavyweight title. But to me, if they would have took the time to build Brad Armstrong, he would have drew nothing but money in Mid-South Wrestling.
Jack?
There's no such thing as a bad Brad Armstrong match, period. It's just not.
I'm with you. I'm with you. If they would have taken the time with Brad, and of course we'll talk about that in more detail next week. Wrong time, great finish, but the wrong time for it. Absolutely the wrong time for it. Should have been done probably about 6 weeks into it because it gives Brad a chance to jail because already he had a good response. Because really in the beginning, I don't really think they knew who he was. I'm not sure if they knew who he was, but they were going to. And he had a tremendous match with Jack Victory. In the end, it's Brad Armstrong getting the sleeper hold in there. Of course, that wasn't the Russian's foot sweep, as they like to call it there, the Russian leg sweep. It was the sleeper. So, and now match number 7. Whew, you want to talk about a great tag match? You're about to see it. It's the new Mid-South Tag Team Champions, Ted DiBiase and Sheik Hercules Hernandez against Tim Horner and Terry Taylor. DiBiase is just a wrestling machine. Make no mistake about it. Jack, what did you think about this one?
Everybody was where they needed to be. If you put this match on Monday Night Raw, nobody would know whatever else happened on the show tonight. This would be what everybody's going to be talking about for the next year. I mean, that is such a quality match and holds up to what those standards were back then. I loved it.
Yeah. Brent?
Oh, yeah. I loved it. Everybody was, I mean, it was, but you got to think about it. You have Tim Horner in there. Great professional wrestler. Terry Taylor, great. Hernandez was really good. Timing was great. Hernandez timing was spectacular. They missed the boat on him when he got to the WWF. They just missed it. Totally missed it with him. And Ted DiBiase, what can you say about him? And I'm going to be honest with you. Akbar wasn't bad as well. He was where he was supposed to be. He was always there. Just tremendous, just a tremendous match. This whole episode was tremendous.
Yes, absolutely. In the end, it's Reed coming out and attacking Akbar and tearing his clothes off of him during the match. That gave enough time for DiBiase to get the glove loaded, and then he nails Tim Horner. and then it's over. It's DiBiase and Hernandez winning that one. Tremendous match. Absolutely an awesome match. I would be ready to see another one of those. It was just so great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And, of course, that ended that particular hour. The next week, we're going to have Private Terry Daniels making his appearance. And, of course, the North American title match, Ernie Ladd against Brad Armstrong. It's going to be interesting.
It was advertised as Ernie Ladd against Hacksaw Jim Duggan on this program. But for some reason, Brad Armstrong ends up going against them instead. I've noticed that happens a lot at the end of these programs. They'll say there'll be certain matches, and they don't have them the next week.
Well, you have to remember, sometimes it's 2 weeks later before they do it, so people come and go, and things may not be. And that might have been the time where where Duggan was sick, and he threw up on the back of Dad's head. Everybody had to go get shots.
Yes, I remember those days. Steve Williams was there. I remember Steve Williams said, "I got hit by many football players in my time, but that shot hurt worse than anything I ever had done."
That's right. And we almost had to get them ourselves. The families were about to be signed up for it, but we dodged the bullet on that.
Okay, folks, if you enjoyed this episode, give us that big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, and it'll let you know when we are going to upload other videos right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. All right, on behalf of Jack Lord and Rodney West, this is episode 274. Stay tuned, 275. Episode 275, we'll be looking at that on the next episode on Mid-South Wrestling.